Hi, this is Nikita, the Hadoop trainer. Hi, Sugandhi. Are you able to hear me and see the screen? Sugandhi, am I audible?
Yeah, I'm able to see the screen. Thank you.
Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, so I have been teaching Hadoop, and I have 10 plus years of experience in this, and 6 years in Java and 4 years in Big Data. Okay, so I am here today to take the demo class, and the demo class covers concepts about Big Data and also what are all the components that we are going to cover as a part of this course. Okay, so this is the agenda. So maybe after some time during once the class is done, you can have you can ask your questions regarding the course or regarding the curriculum or whatever. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. So now can we begin? Okay, we'll start with so let us start with the basic term big data. Okay, what is big data? I can see somebody joined, but I cannot see the name. Can I know who is this? It just comes waiting for name. Who is this? Okay, no problem. Okay, let us discuss what is big data. Any idea? Okay, big data is a term and a very basic thing wherein we can say the data is very huge. Okay, big data is a term which is used to represent a data which is large in quantity. Okay, fine. Then okay, so here if you see here, the term is being used since 1990s. So why? Because do you think that there was no data before 1990s? No, the reason is, see, before 1990s also we had data and now also we have data. Every time, all the time we had data, but the data gathering devices, our data capturing devices are becoming cheaper day by day. So whatever like if you compare the prices of mobiles from 1990s to 2017 today, the prices have become very less. Right? So as the data capturing devices are becoming cheaper, the data gathered, the data gathered will grow on every day. So that is the reason they say in most of the websites when you visit about something about big data, they say the world's entire data is 99% or 95% in the last 4 or 5 years only because of this data gathering devices. Okay, so not only mobiles, remotes, software logs, CC cameras, microphones, wireless, etc. Every data gathering device is so cheap today, and a lot of data is being gathered. Okay, so now there is one more term. Okay, so how do you define big data? How do you really measure this? So data, there should be some measure in order to know exactly till beyond what capacity I call it as a big data. So data is measured in the form of bytes. Okay, and here 10.
Hi, this is Mani.
Money, hi Money. Yeah, I was not able to get your name, so I call you. Okay, hi. So we are discussing on the demo part. Yeah, now we could get your name. Thanks. Okay, and you can you can just chat whenever you have a question. You can stop me. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks. So when you see this measure, data is measured in the form of bytes. What is a byte? A byte is a collection of 8 bits. Okay, and a bit is either 1 or a 0. Okay, a very basic thing. Now, see, up to gigabytes, the traditional database management systems. A traditional database management system, is something like Oracle or SQL Server, Microsoft SQL, or whatever. All this, okay. These are called traditional database management systems. Now, when it comes to traditional database systems, storing and processing of data up to gigabytes is quite good. Okay, but when the data grows beyond gigabytes, it is a challenge. Or beyond terabytes, I can say. Up to terabytes, yes, the traditional systems are very, efficient to process as well as store the data. But when the data is crossing terabytes, then it becomes a challenge. So it is from here, I'll call it as a big data. Okay, if the data grows beyond terabytes, I will call it as a big data. And also I can give one more definition. If the data is growing beyond the capability of traditional RDBMS system to store or process, then that type of data I can also call it as big data. Both are the same, vice versa. Okay, so this is the measure. Now, okay, internet has data in the form of in exabytes. Okay, so here we have 3 V's of big data. These are the 3 parameters that define big data. We have got n number of definitions for big data, but the term is simply telling large amounts of data. Not only large amounts of data, okay, it has also other parameters like volume is something we discussed, and velocity also variety. Okay, so we have to discuss them in detail. Let us discuss the 3 V's of big data in detail. 3 V's of big data. Volume, velocity, and variety. Okay, first let us discuss the volume part. So I don't know how many of you had Yahoo account. Initially when Yahoo Yahoo launched its first mail account, which was called Yahoo Mail. It is called Yahoo Mail, and it was in 97 or 98. Okay, we also had Yahoo Mails in around 99. Okay, so Yahoo Mail, when it was initially launched, the initial mail storage capacity given was 5 MB. Okay, 5 MB. It is like, you have to keep on backing up the mails every day. You have to keep on checking your inbox every day, and you have to take a backup of the mail. Otherwise, you will not get a new mail. Suppose you have a mail like, which contains some images, some greetings. Okay, so until you take a backup of that mail, you would never get a new mail, because, the capacity is very less. And this continued. People had Yahoo Mail accounts, and this continued till 2004 when Google launched its first mail account service, which is called Gmail. And do you know what is the initial storage capacity given for Gmail? It was 1 GB. Initial storage capacity given for Gmail was 1 GB. And believe me, within a span of 1 year, everyone converted their mail accounts to Gmail. But nobody knew it, how Google was able to provide 1 GB of storage for an individual account. There will be millions of accounts, right? So nobody knew it. Okay, then this was the scenario. And see, nowadays everybody have Gmails only, right? So even though Yahoo upgraded its account later, now why there is no need for me to convert, right? Unnecessarily convert my mail account. So I would not go for it. So usually you see all Gmails only. Later Yahoo upgraded. Now it is also providing 1 GB or 2 GB of space. Forget, but nobody will really turn back, right? So because there is no need. In Gmail, I don't bother to delete any mail any day, right? Unless it is some, but storage wise, I don't bother. 2 GB of storage is much more. Okay, this is the scenario. And what about velocity? Velocity, what is velocity? Velocity is the speed with which the data is retrieved. So, in traditional systems, you can have n number of servers or backup servers, and you can store the data. Even petabytes of information, yes, you can store it. But what if you are not able to retrieve on time? What is backup? You are taking a backup. You are, every fortnight or every monthly or every 6 months, you are taking a backup, right? So what is this? Backup means you are just, taking a copy, you are taking the entire data into a different server. And is this backup server readily available for search or for analysis? No, right? So this means what? So it is not only the storage that matters. If you store the data, well and good, but you have to process it on time. This is what velocity demands. So just let us take a simple example. I'll just go to one of my drive, okay, say D drive, and I will search with the keyword Hadoop here. Okay, and just observe the time taken, for this search. Okay, it took 5 seconds and it is still continuing its search. Okay, and okay, some 9 seconds. Okay, 9 or 10. Okay, let me take it as 9, no problem. So 9 seconds, and how many results I got? 5 items. Okay, I think let me search in one more drive. Okay, let me search here and just observe the time taken, because there are many files here. I want to search here. Okay, so see this, 5 seconds. Okay, 10, but still it is searching. Okay, so 15. Okay, I'll take it as 15 seconds. And how many results I got? I got 207 such results. Okay, let me put it here. So my hard disk capacity is 200 GB. In 200 GB, I searched and I got 207 such results in a span of 15 seconds. Okay, 15 seconds. Now let me do the same thing in Google. See this. Okay, 2,43 lakh results in less than half a second. Oh, I think I need to copy again. Okay. Okay, 2,43 lakh results and less than half a second. And in what amount of space it is searching? It is searching in some petabytes or exabytes of data. Okay, so why I'm not able to do this in my conventional laptop? Why? How Google is able to do this? Because this is a Windows system. I'm using a different file system, right? And Google is using a different file system, because of which it is able to efficiently process so much of information in a very less time. And same thing are done by all the social networking websites, e-commerce sites, and so on. Do you really imagine if you upload a photo Facebook and tomorrow to retrieve the same you need to wait half an hour? No, not at all. And do you imagine like you want to do some search in Google and go and have a cup of coffee and come back? No, in such case you would never look into Google again, right? You want the results then and there itself within no time. That is what velocity is. We require a very high velocity. We have huge volumes of data, at the same time we require a very, very high velocity. Now look here, Google is able to give so much of storage for individual mail account. Google is able to efficiently process the data in no time. The velocity is very high. And also let us come to the third thing, a variety of data. The data is broadly classified into structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. What is a structured data? All RDBMS data which can be represented in the form of tables, can be called as a structured data. It has definite number of attributes, right? So if you consider employee, he's going to have employee ID, employee name, and so on, like 30 plus parameters. All the employees in this company are going to have this data. So that means what? I can put the data in the form of a table. So I call it as a structured data. Okay. And what is semi-structured data? Semi-structured data is data which has a partial structure, like XML files, okay, log files. I can call them as semi-structured data. Why do I call a XML file as a semi-structured data? How does the XML file looks like? XML file consists of tags. Something like this. Okay, so you cannot predict. It doesn't have any structure, but it has something in common. Do you see this? It has something in common. What is it? It has a opening tag and the corresponding closing tag, which gives a partial structure to the file. And therefore, this is called a semi-structured data. Same thing with log files also. Log file is going to contain lot of information which cannot be, which cannot be given any structure. But one thing it is going to have in common. What is that? A timestamp, a date and timestamp. Like this. Say it is 20th, okay, July 2017, and it is, okay, Indian time. I'll take 7 hours, 26 minutes, some 45 seconds, and also milliseconds, and followed by lot of things, blah blah blah. Right? So what is the partial structure we can, through which we can parse this file? The timestamp. And in few things you can also tag some product details or whatever, based on which you can really parse this file. That is the reason log files and XML files come under the category of semi-structured data. And what about unstructured data? Everything else other than the structured and semi-structured comes under unstructured data. So the data we have in our Word documents, PDFs, audio files, video files, pictures, images, okay, images, everything else come under the unstructured data. Most of the data is not a, all the RDBMS data is structured, but there is a huge requirement, to efficiently store and process semi-structured as well as unstructured data. Right? When you are, working in an e-commerce website, all of the data is unstructured only. The Facebook chats, right? Images, videos, audios uploaded every time. All of them are unstructured. E-commerce websites, most of the data is unstructured. You have various images, you have videos, right? All this. So, the world's data is not just structured. You have a lot of semi-structured and unstructured data. So you have to process this efficiently, like you did for volume and velocity. Variety of data is also very, very important. So these three together form the 3 V's of big data. Okay, Google can efficiently store as well as process all varieties of data. So now Google is using a different technology compared to our conventional systems. Clear about that, right? It is very clear. Okay, let us keep this aside and come to this topic a bit later. Now, after this, let us discuss the benefits of big data. Okay. Let us discuss the benefits of big data. Okay, the benefits of big data cannot be restricted to a slide. There are many. I can take an entire class discussing the benefits of big data, because big data is being benefited everywhere in our day-to-day life, everywhere. So, see, I'll just take one example. What are the traditional systems doing? Traditional systems are taking a backup once they reach a limit, the server take a limit, right? Because of which there are few disadvantages. Suppose 2 years before I got some medical ailment and I visit one of the hospital. Okay, they have really treated me very well. A doctor there treated really very well, and I was cured in no time. Fine. Now after 2 years, I get the same complaint. So immediately what is the thing that comes into my mind? I'll rush to the hospital expecting the same doctor to be there. Okay, first thing, the chance of the same doctor being there is really less these days, especially. Okay, first thing. And secondly, even if the doctor is there, what is the chance that he remembers you and the treatment given to you? Definitely no, right? Unless you carry the physical prescriptions. The physical prescriptions, they do not contain end-to-end information. Okay, even suppose you are not able to save the prescriptions. It is 5 years before, so definitely no. So now what you do? You just rush to the people over there or somebody in the reception and say, okay, can you just take out my file, whether it is saved in your computer? Then the immediate question they asked you, when did you last come? And if I say 2 years or 5 years, they'll say, sorry ma'am or sir, we don't have your data because we back up the data for every 6 months, or we archive the data. So it is like your treatment starts all from the beginning. right? So there is no, you need not go to the hospital. You can go to another hospital also because your treatment starts all from the beginning. What if there is no concept of backup and your data is readily available, either 5 years data or 10 years data? Right? Who all are benefited? As a patient, me, the hospital, as well as doctor. See, business is improving here, right? So the same thing. Today you shop something in Amazon, you put it in the cart, thinking that the price is a bit high. You don't really purchase it. You just put it in the cart. And when you log into Twitter or Facebook, there you get a ad saying that things in your cart are on discount now, or you have a coupon to buy them. So aren't you happy? And who all are benefited? The e-commerce website, the social networking website, and the customer. Right? So these are few examples. Big data is used everywhere. In internet search, in finance, e-science work, business, informatics, everywhere. Physics, chemistry, biology, environmental search, everywhere. Right? So everywhere data is growing, everywhere we require a huge velocity. And everywhere the data is consists of all these three types.
Hello.
Okay.
I'm not able to hear you.
Okay, not able to hear me. Anybody else who is having the same complaint? I think, Mani or Vikram, can you quickly tell me whether you are able to hear me properly?
Yeah, we are able to. I'm able to.
Okay. Okay, Sukanti, I really advise you to log in again. If you can re-log in, the issue would be solved. Okay. Okay. So these are the benefits of big data. Now let us see what is actually the traditional approach. The traditional approach uses a centralized system and a relational database. Okay, and here there is a limit to this database. Once the database limit reaches, we are going to back up the data, right? This is the thing. Now, Google uses a different solution. Okay, so till 2005, I told you people converted their mail accounts to Gmail. Okay, fine. And nobody knew it. What is the secret behind that? In the same year, in 2005, Google released a paper called GFS. And they said, okay, we are using a technology which is called GFS, and the solution looks like this. The solution looks like this. Okay, so what they are doing in Google solution, they are not using a single server, but here they are using a cluster of machines, which are commodity hardwares. What is a commodity hardware? A commonly available hardware or a cheaper hardware. Here, there is no concept of backup. You have all the data readily available. Okay, so this is the Google solution. Based on this solution, okay, Doc Cutting and his team developed Hadoop. The project was funded by Yahoo and it was given to Apache to make it open source. Hadoop is the name of a toy elephant his son was playing when he was working on this solution. So he found it relevant to his project and he simply named the project, open source project, as Hadoop. Okay, so Hadoop uses the same solution as that of GFS. Here it is, there it is GFS, Google File System. Here it is HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. And these are the various components in Hadoop architecture. Okay, let me explain you this in detail and tell what we are going to cover as a part of this course. Okay, so there are two aspects in Hadoop. First, the storage part as well as the processing part. Storage part is called HDFS and the processing part is called MapReduce. Okay, then so MapReduce is developed in Java. So therefore we do the processing, we do MapReduce processing in Java. So for this you require some core Java concepts. Okay, so core Java concepts are required to execute MapReduce programming in Java or to write MapReduce program in Java. HDFS is a framework we are going to understand this HDFS architecture in detail. Okay, then we will learn MapReduce programming in Java. But you know, everybody can't be Java developers. People feel that, you know, writing code in Java is really, you know, it is like writing huge lines of code, and also it is time consuming, and everybody cannot be Java expertise, right? Like, isn't it? So for that you have other components developed. So these are also processing layers only. Like MapReduce, you have something called Pig and Hive. Pig is a scripting language. So whatever you do in Java can be done in relatively less number of lines and less time in Pig. Okay, and initially Hadoop, people used to migrate from ETL projects to Hadoop. Initial scenario. Now at every level we have Hadoop. Okay, but initially 90% of migrations were having migrating from ETL tools only. Okay, ETL projects. So then how come you expect the ETL team to learn Java and Pig, right? So Hive gives you the flexibility to write SQL like queries. So that is the reason we have this processing layer called Hive. And HDFS is the storage that I told you. HDFS is Hadoop Distributed File System, which is going to store data in the form of files. But to do some transactions, you require data in the form of tables. So that is the reason on top of HDFS, we have a database called HBase. Okay, HBase logically stores the data in the form of tables and helps us in transaction processing. Okay, so this is one thing. So these all are components of Hadoop. These are different components on Hadoop. You can see here. Okay, you have HDFS. On top of it, you have MapReduce. On HDFS, you have a database which is called HBase, and there are various, tools or various components, Pig, Hive, and so on. So what are we doing as a part of this course? We are going to understand HDFS architecture in detail, and we are going to learn MapReduce programming in Java. And all this we are doing on a Linux flavor operating system called Ubuntu, which is installed as a guest operating system using VM player. Okay, so all the installations we are going to do in the class. I will share you the installation document, and I'm going to guide you step by step. And after every class, the recording will be shared to you with the relevant class notes. Okay, so here we are going to learn MapReduce in Java. Install Hadoop, install Java, and then do MapReduce in Java. Similarly, install Pig and learn Pig. Pig practicals will be done in the class. Same thing with Hive also. And HBase also we are going to install in the class and do HBase practicals. Similarly, we have a tool called Scoop. Scoop is a tool which is used to transfer data from RDBMS to HDFS and vice versa. So we are going to learn install Scoop and install Scoop and learn the Scoop practicals. Okay, please go ahead.
So for working in MapReduce, do we need to know the Java? Do we need to be a Java developer or something like that?
Only the core Java concepts are required. That too, not all, very few.
Like OOPS concepts.
Yeah, OOPS concepts you need to know. We have, we have some recordings. If required, I can also take one class to explain this because all my previous experiences in Java. So we have some material also that would help actually. Taking a class is not required. OOPS concepts are required. Anyways, we are going to start from the scratch. I don't start the programming like at a high level. We write from the scratch. So even you don't have, it is quite easy.
Okay.
We are going to share you the material, or we can discuss in the class the OOPS concepts. Then we can go ahead with writing code in Java. Okay. Yeah. Vikram. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah,
I think you have.
Yeah, same question I was having that I never studied Java concept during my engineering. And
Okay.
I was also having the same doubt that how shall I process with the Java, as you shared about the alternative Pig and the Hive. But
Yes.
I think that during some time Pig won't be able to rectify the, means going to take over the Java, because Java having its own place. Yeah. So all the programming
Correct.
cannot be done with the Pig and all,
Correct.
isn't it? Or can we do with the help of Pig and Hive, and we don't require Java at all? Is
See,
it so?
to some extent, Java is required. In big companies, actually, mainly Java is required to parse the file. We get unstructured data for analysis most of the time. Or you have, semi-structured data. So you need to parse this file. For that, actually, like in our company, we have a separate Java team which is going to parse the file and give the data to us. Okay. So most of the time it is like that. The Java team is going to parse the file, and analysis we are doing in Hive only. Whatever is the analysis we do in Hive only. So I don't say if you don't Java you cannot survive. Definitely yes. Okay. Definitely without Java also you can, but you need to understand some basic concepts, because small chunks of program you need to write in Java also, and not all the core Java concepts, they are very few. So when we do the class you'll be able to see that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Getting me? So only see I will not say the entire. If you want to settle as a big data developer, knowing Java is not the only thing. It is only one of the component, which is in real time. If you talk about the real time scenario, map-reduce programming is done in Java, but generally we go for Java to parse the file, which is done by the Java team. And when we have the data in some format, okay, in our required format, we can use Pig and Hive for analysis.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the components discussed in detail in practical. Apart from this, we have various components like OZ, Flume, and entire discussion of NoSQL databases. Okay, and okay, so these things we are gonna see the theory part. Okay, and Hadoop has two versions, 1.x and 2.x. 3.x is also there, but we have only alpha version, so still not using it. So 1.x, 2.x are the two versions we are that are in the market. So I don't say 2.x is direct upgrade. So whichever project is using 1.x should go for 2.x. 2.x has a slightly different architecture, which is called YARN. So first we are going to do all this on 1.x, and I will take one class to explain what are the major changes in 2.x compared to 1.x, and what is the role of a developer in this change. Okay, which is very less. If you are working in 1.x or 2.x, the change is very less. Okay, that part will be discussed. And one class for resume writing. Okay, and one class for real-time project interview discussion. Okay, what are the real-time project-related interview questions? Along with explaining my current project. So I'll not be sharing the title or whatever, but what I do in my work is what I'm gonna tell here. So this is all about the thing. And apart from this, when we complete Java, I'll be giving a small assignment, and after these components, I'll be giving a POC, which will have a combination of all these three components. Okay, so a good assignment. Okay, which will be a good thing to practice. Okay, so this is how the course goes like. So any queries you can ask me.
Are we getting any Hadoop installation?
Yeah, I'll be sharing you the installation files as well as installation documents, and we'll be doing the installations in the class. I'll be sharing one of your system and do the installation. The recorded session will be shared to all the others so that you can go ahead with the recording and do it. So one system we are doing in the class, rest others can do parallelly or after the class.
Is it like, do we need to, how long we can keep that Hadoop installation? Is it like open source, or do we need to uninstall once we done with the class?
No, it is open source. Once done, it is forever.
Okay.
I have a question. Do you cover big data as well in this course along with Hadoop, or it's just only Hadoop?
See, Hadoop is one of the big data technology given by Apache vendor, right? And which is widely used these days. Big data technologies are many in the market. Like you have Microsoft Azure, SAP HANA, and like this, you have many, right? So Hadoop is one of them. So this is a Hadoop developer course, which will cover, 30% of admin course also. The reason is we are doing all the installations. So installations, we are not just copy pasting the steps. We have to understand what is the thing behind it. So I can say 30% of admin course also we are covering. So overall, we are covering Hadoop only. We are working with Hadoop.
Okay.
The Hadoop developer course covering 30% of admin course as well.
So nowadays I am hearing about Amazon Web Services. So is that also part of big data?
Sorry, I did not get you. Can you please repeat?
No. So these days I come across like people talking about Amazon Web Services.
Okay.
Amazon Web Services. So is it part of big data, or is it part of Hadoop, or is it?
It is not a part of Hadoop. The vendor is Amazon, right? It is not a Hadoop. Here the vendor is Apache. Hadoop and Hadoop related open source components we are discussing here. Getting me? That is different. That is not a part of this course.
Okay.
Anything else?
Like
I just
how long the duration?
Okay, so okay, yeah. Okay, how long is the class? So it will roughly take I can say, because sometimes the installations really bother us. So when we are stuck in any one of the installations, sometimes 2 to 3 classes simply get wasted. So in that way, around below 35 classes I should be able to cover the course.
In daily basis, only in weekdays, or how it goes?
Yeah, it goes in weekdays only, weekends being the holiday. So 30 to 35 hours it will take. So 1 hour class every day and 5 classes a week. Yeah, Sukanti, please go ahead.
I want to know how can this Hadoop be applied in as an ETL developer or ETL analyst in any company. Like, how can I apply this concept or this knowledge?
Okay. Usually what people do is, especially in US, you are going to approach a consultancy, and without some experience they are not going to consider your resume. See, you worked in ETL and you cannot, this is the general scenario I'm telling you. You just generally cannot go like a fresher in Hadoop. What people usually do is they try to put their existing experience in Hadoop. Okay, so whatever is the existing project, because domain knowledge you have, and after completion of the course, you know which components are required where. So you can accordingly change your resume and apply for the jobs.
Ma'am,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, the same query was having on my end as well, as I'm switching from the telecom domain to this Hadoop. So I'm having a 1.5.
Your voice is breaking. Having 1.5 years experience. Is that what you mean? I'm sorry, Mani, we are not able to hear you.
No, I'm not asking anything. I think somebody else.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I think it is Vikram. He is becoming offline and online, so. Okay. Sukanti, am I clear? Am I clear on what you asked?
Yeah, I'm clear. Actually, so it's whatever we have, whatever experience we already have. On top of that, if we get to know Hadoop, we can put that in
Yes.
our resume. Okay.
Yes, that is what
Okay.
strictly recommended also. If you just take some projects from your friends and all, the first thing is without experience, you cannot apply as a fresher. That is what happening in the market, right? You don't get any fresher jobs. So rather than taking some projects from outside, it is better. Most of the people are doing this these days. The existing project, because you are good in domain and you know what happens end to end, you can go for it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So this POC project or whatever case studies you are giving, it's like based on a real-time scenario, or is it like a small
Yeah,
experiment?
real time. No, real time scenario only. The input file may be small, but it is what we do in the real time. It is a combination of Java, Pig, and Hive. So a very good exercise. If you are able to do that, like you will get some confidence. The code will be shared. Code will be shared.
So in the job market, how many years of experience do a guy need to show to at least to get a job in the entry level or the middle level of Hadoop?
Entry level, see, fresher jobs are also there, but especially US and Middle East, people approach consultancies, and they are good. Minimum 2 years is considered to get into Hadoop. Even for a fresher also, like if you have 2 years of experience only, you can get into it. And the ideal experience, if you have some ATL experience and all, you can easily go for 4 years. And I can assure that after completion of this course, you will have a confidence to keep at least 1.5 years to 2 years. Again, that depends on you because you have to parallelly work along with the course, right? So real time, you will get confidence that you can go for a real time experience of something between 1.5 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years. So with that, it will be easier to get into the job at the
Yes.
entry level.
Yes. Whatever your experience, you can add this to that.
So,
Okay.
ma'am, what exactly how do developer need to do to perform a job? So he need to just look into the HDFS domain, or overall he need to take care.
Hadoop
What exactly?
developer basically develops the code to give reports.
Okay.
Okay. So see, I have data coming in log files or XML files. Now my client says, I want to understand the trend. So give me how the people, what is the customer behavior in the month of September. So data is in the form of XML files, huge data is there. Now I have to analyze that data. So for that, I have some techniques. I have some, I have Java, Pig, and Hive. I have these components. With the help of these components, you have to provide the report to the customer. And based on that, he's gonna take some strategic decisions to improve his business.
Okay.
So your
So
role
what?
is you will you will analyze the data.
Okay. Being a developer.
Yeah.
And what a guy who is admin part will just take
Admin
care
is
of
going
the.
to take care of the health of the cluster. So this is, I told you it is a collection of
Yeah.
commodity hardwares. So
Yeah.
there is a very big cluster. So Yahoo or Amazon like that, it is having thousands of machines, 5,000 node cluster, 6,000 node cluster. So, a medium project will have some 500 to 600 node cluster. A very small project, 100 nodes cluster. That means there will be 100 machines. Somebody has to take care of all the health, right? Cluster health. So admin guys are going to take care of that.
So, ma'am, as I can hear about the SAP HANA and the Hadoop, people are saying that it's all in the same. Is it so? So,
Concept is
or
the same. See, distributed computing is the concept here. The data is stored across machines and is
distribution.
processed in parallel. What is the
Yeah.
idea of a distributed system? If you have data in a distributed system, you can process in parallel. So the concept here of this distributed computing is in Azure, Microsoft vendor, as well as HANA.
Okay.
And HANA does real-time computing. Okay, that is a different thing, but you can understand this way, distributed computing.
Okay. So I can hold that the from career point of view, the job, can we find easily a job in the Hadoop developer, as you are in the same field, so you might be having a good experience?
Yeah. As a Hadoop developer, you have a lot of opportunity compared to other streams. Also, HANA or Azure, a lot of people are choosing Hadoop only. The reason is it is open source, and expertise also you are able to find more here. So that is the reason people are preferring Hadoop developers.
Okay.
And one more thing, if you are good in Hadoop, like you also have opportunity to go into other platforms as well. The concept is the same. I have my colleagues who worked in Hadoop and went to work on Azure. Who worked in Azure came to Hadoop, right? Same thing with HANA also. But HANA generally it is a different, right? SAP is all different. They have their own this thing. So not from there, but from Azure to Hadoop, yes, people are migrating.
Mm-hmm.
So today you know Hadoop, you joined in a company. There is a fair chance that you can go into Azure project also after working few months in Hadoop.
Mm-hmm. The concept is same, apart from the distribution.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
I have a question. So when I learned SAP Bob J, I was also advised to learn SAP BW, also if possible SAP HANA, like that. So similarly, if we are learning Hadoop, what other tools should we learn parallelly or something like that on top of that? What other knowledge should we have basically?
Okay, so once you are done with Hadoop developer course, most of the thing that is enough to get into the market. These days you also have Spark. So once you are done with this, you can go ahead and learn Spark.
What exactly is Spark?
For learning Spark, we should know Java, right? Like scripting. It's a more like a
Either Java or Scala or Python.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know at least one of them in end to end.
Java or Python?
Java or Python or Scala. See, MapReduce is developed in Java. So Java programming in Java is quite efficient because the performance is very high, because Java being native language here. Spark is developed using Scala. So there, Scala, if you have Scala, if you are developing in Scala, then the performance is very good. But lack of Scala resources, people are going for Java in Spark or Python in Spark. So in order to learn Spark, either you should know Java in detail or go for Scala.
Ma'am, so to get a job in Hadoop developer, as a Hadoop developer, one need to go for a certification as well?
No, not required. Not required. Certification, I strongly recommend you take the course, join in a project, and then at least minimum three months of experience you have, then you can attempt certification. I can assure you, with the knowledge, you can, you 3/4 of the paper you can attempt easily. You can attempt, provided you do lots of hands-on. Definitely, it is not that easy. And certification is provided by, the third-party vendors. You have, environments like Cloudera and Hortonworks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they provide you environment, for this big data technologies. So one such vendor is Cloudera. So Cloudera is issuing certification on big data developer. So if you work, if you have some hands-on 3 months, you'll get a very good this thing, because they are around 10 to 12 questions in the certification, and all of them are practical, and you need to do and show them on the cluster.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the only reason I'm telling you, you just have at least 3 months of experience in real time and go for certification. Having a certification is not mandatory to get into a job in Hadoop.
Okay.
But you can also do it without doing a job, provided you do lots of hands-on.
So although we do whatever the practice without a job, we can't meet the job criteria, isn't it? I mean to say that we'll be here, we'll be in our training, we'll be using the dummy things, and we'll be just creating the scenarios. but the scenario will become something different in the real market.
No, there is no huge gap. There is no huge gap, unlike the other technologies, because we are installing a Linux flavor operating system Ubuntu. On top of that only, we are executing our code. Maybe yes, the input files differ, the logic differs, but there is no huge gap. That part I can assure you.
So I believe that for the map reduce, we need Java, so the basics and some classes.
Yeah, I will take it, because I don't know, because if people, all the students in a batch have core Java concepts clear, then generally I will just share the material. But since at least even if one will not have, there's no concept, there's no point in discussing MapReduce directly. So definitely I'll take at least 2 or 3 classes to discuss the core Java concepts required for MapReduce.
Okay. So to complete this entire course, how much duration it takes, or how many days?
It will take 2 months.
2 months to complete the entire course.
1.5 months. I told you 30 classes, but if you are doing on a regular basis, yes, it has to be completed in. If you emit, you're gonna take out Saturday and Sunday, so 22 days a week, 22 days a month. Sorry, so 20. Even if you take 20, so 1.5 months it is gonna take.
So yeah, I was having only the doubt with the Java programming. I was not related with those things, so I was having the query whether I.
Yeah, most of the people are like that only. Non-Java developers, they come to learn Hadoop, and it is not like, but understanding is important. You need not settle as a Java developer in MapReduce, but you should have if you have some idea, it will be quite easy. So that part will be taken care, no problem.
So ma'am, you are working in India or in US?
I am in India right now. My previous experience, I worked in Johannesburg in a bank in South Africa. So again, I am going on the same this thing. Right now, I'm in India for a short term. So maybe after next month, I'm expecting to go again in September. I'll be joining a project again in September in Johannesburg, South Africa.
So generally,
I'm a permanent resident there. So yeah, please go ahead.
So generally, the training sessions will be in this same time.
Yeah, same time. The training is not at all affected. No way, related to my work.
So the timings.
Yeah. Timings would be the same. 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. IST. That is, I think, 9:30 to 10:30 EST.
Yeah.
If you want any change in timings, please contact the coordinator. Yes.
So, okay, so the last question, ma'am. So, being a developer, one need to be perfect with the HDFS, that the storage, and with the processing, which can be done with the Java Pig and the Hive.
Yes.
Okay. So, I believe HBase is a database of the Hadoop. So, it will come under the HDFS.
It is on top of HDFS. Having a knowledge of HBase is also essential for a Java developer, because in real time, you may work on any of the NoSQL database like MongoDB, Cassandra, Apache CouchDB, or whatever, HBase, right? So all of them are under the category of NoSQL databases. So if we do one NoSQL database, which is a Hadoop component like HBase, you will get to know about the others also. Like you can directly go and work. What are the major differences among these all NoSQL databases will be discussed.
Okay.
So having idea of HBase is equally important. You are like my project right now, whatever I am doing, the files are all in HDFS. We are analyzing them. Okay. But before 6 months, I was in a project wherein the data was in HBase. Okay. So it depends either in HDFS or HBase, or people may use MongoDB. So you should be able to work in any of this. So if you are good in one component, yes, you can do a self-learning for the others.
So do we get exposure to? Yes. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir.
Okay, so do we get exposure to all three, HDFS, HBase, MongoDB?
No,
Like when we're
MongoDB,
having this.
Cassandra, and MongoDB, Cassandra, architectural wise, whatever are the changes and all will be discussed. What type of file formats they are supporting and all we'll discuss. But hands-on, we are doing HBase only. Remember here, we are doing all Hadoop components. MongoDB is not a Hadoop component. Cassandra is also not a Hadoop component. But since they are widely being used in the market, we will discuss what are the changes, differences between all these three. HBase we are going to discuss in detail.
Ma'am, what is this OZ and Plumes and NoSQL?
Yeah, see, OZ is a workflow tool on top, which
Okay.
is used on top of HDFS. So it is a workflow tool. So you need to understand what is OZ. Okay, it is just a XML document which is used when you have workflows in your project. And similarly, there is something called Flume. It is also a Hadoop component. When do we go for Flume? When there is streaming of data, Hadoop will not support live streaming of data or updates. So we need some external component which is called Flume. So this hands-on we are not doing. Okay, Oozy also hands-on, in fact, not required for Oozy. We end-to-end we'll see how does a Oozy document look like, how we are executing on the server end. Flow, we are understanding the architecture. NoSQL databases means here comes MongoDB, Cassandra and all. There are various types of NoSQL databases. All those in detail we are going to discuss. And Yarn is 2x component.
Okay. So in this training, we'll be dealing with 1x or 3x?
We are dealing with 1x. 1x.
Okay. So in the real time scenario, generally in the company, actually they are dealing with 1x or 3x?
Both. It depends.
Both. Depending on the company.
We are using 1x.
So, ma'am, what I'm saying that when I talk with I'm in US, and when I talk with the people and work with my friends and the people who are working in the companies, as I have done business object in India, working in the business object, and I was just moving with the HANA, SAP HANA, BW1 HANA, and I was just looking for a job, but and I didn't get. I'm just trying. But people say that it will be easier to get a job in Hadoop in US. But again, the thing is that when I ask with the people, they are saying that no, the market is going down, even with the Hadoop. So, what is what do you
see? Don't take too many. What I say?
No, I was just saying that because at the end of the day, I need to be having a job. Yeah.
Correct. Hadoop is in full boom. I can assure you that because we are getting like students in streams. From the past 6 months, it is like high. And 2018 is the big data year. Lot of jobs you get into. So it is the right stage to get into a Hadoop job rather than 2 years later. That part I can tell you. Because I am also in training and placement team. I get people with lot of fake experience. Frankly, by looking at the resume itself, we'll understand that okay, this is not a genuine one. But still, we see if the person is good in basics, we are simply grabbing them. The reason is lack of resources. Okay, so I can definitely say learning Hadoop will fetch you for sure.
Yes, thank you so much. So you'll be helping with the resume preparations as well, ma'am, or the
resume preparation. I'll help you. If you want to discuss in the class, you can share your resume. Otherwise, individually, if you want to prepare and send me for feedback, also I can do.
So you'll be sharing with the content.
Yeah, I have sample resumes with me. I strictly, advise you not to copy and paste them, but it is your wish. So I have some sample resumes with me. I'll be sharing the resumes with you guys. Looking on that, you can prepare your resume and share it to me if you want my feedback.
Yeah.
The resume writing tips and whatever you have to include and what not to include will be discussed in the class.
Okay. After that, we'll be having a separate class for the interview as well. Interview preparation.
Yes, real-time interview discussion. The real-time interview, project interview especially. See, theory-wise, whatever we are covering will everywhere I'll point out which are the interview-related important things at each and every topic. But real-time Project related interview is different, right? So that part we'll be doing in one class.
I have one question. Being in ETL, if I have to tell my management like why I have to take Hadoop, what would be the best answer to tell them that I have to take Hadoop for such reason?
Okay. See, first thing is you have to improve your skill, right? First thing, you have to, we have to grow. So like the projects itself are migrating from ETL to Hadoop. So it is always a good idea if you shift the technology, you are learning something and you are moving to a better technology. It is like improvement only.
Okay.
I am in ETL now. I want to go into a Hadoop project. It is like fair. You have some knowledge. You can put it in your mail and give a file justification that you want to improve, right?
Yeah.
Because in future, all the ETL projects are also going to be migrated to Hadoop one day or the other. One day or the other, because of many advantages. It is a distributed system. It is economical. It has lot of scalability. The data is very reliable there, and it is cheaper. The pricing is very less, right? You have all this. For that reason, you are learning Hadoop, right? Because people are, projects are migrating. New projects are coming up in Hadoop also. The reason is either today or tomorrow, I have to migrate it to Hadoop because the data keeps on growing. So why to start from a traditional database and going to Hadoop later? So better let me start with Hadoop. This is what the startups are thinking. And existing ETL projects, they are migrating to Hadoop.
So is this the only option? Hadoop is the only option at the moment if the data is growing?
Yes. Big data technology is the option, I would say. But Hadoop is in Hadoop is in a big boom compared to others. Because again, though it is open source.
When we talk about ETL, we have different applications like client like Informatica, Data Stage, SSIS like that. So the concepts are more or less equal when we compare to Data Stage or ETL or SSIS. We have some minor graphical user interface, whatever we are using differs, but the main concept is same. Like that, when we talk about Hadoop, we have a number of languages within Hadoop. But
yes.
once we get the basic idea about Hadoop, the architectural view about it, then it would be easy for us to switch and learn other topics, whatever they're related to Hadoop.
Yes, exactly. I agree with you.
Ma'am, SAP HANA is also a part of big data?
No, it is using a distributed in-memory computing. You cannot compare it. It can handle big data. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is intended for big data. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, we are also time up. Maybe if you can check with the coordinator, we can have one more class. If you further have any queries, please check the coordinator. Please check with the coordinator. Anything else?
No, we are good.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Then.
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a nice time till then. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good day.
Good day.
Hello. Hello. Yeah, Mani.
Hello.
Yeah, Sugandhi,
Yes.
Mani, Vikram. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.